It is my great honor to present California Assemblymember Rob Bonta. Assemblymember Bonta received his Juris Doctorate from Yale Law School after attending Yale and Oxford University. Growing up in a trailer just a few hundred yards from Cesar Chavez's home, Assemblymember Bonta watched closely as his parents organized Filipino and Mexican-American farm workers, infusing his formative years with firsthand experience of one of the greatest peaceful social, racial, and economic justice movements of all time. Assemblymember Bonta's legal career includes work as Deputy City Attorney for City and County of San Francisco, where he represented the city and county and its employees, and as a private attorney where he fought to protect Californians from exploitation and racial profiling. Rob was undefeated at trial, never losing a jury verdict for his clients. Currently, he chairs the Assembly Public Employees, Retirement, and Social Security Committee, as well as the Select Committee on the Status of Boys and Men of Color. Please join me in welcoming Assemblymember Rob Bonta.
Good morning, how are you today? Good to see you guys. I'm Rob Bonta, serving the California State Assembly, represent the great cities of Oakland and Alameda and San Leandro, and I wanted to thank Omar for his kind introduction and the Center for Latino Policy Research for putting on this convening and this dialogue today. We're all here for the same reason. We know that too many young men and boys of color are locked in, locked out, or locked up. Locked into environments that have disproportionate amounts of trauma and violence, lack of resources, exposure to environmental hazards, locked out of opportunities for high quality education or good jobs, or literally locked up in prison. And we're here because we want to move the needle and change those outcomes for our young men and our boys of color. And one of the things, I want to share two stories to start. One is that as Omar mentioned, my parents were involved with the United Farm Workers of America movement. We grew up in a special place called La Paz, which was the headquarters for the UFW movement. And there, my parents, my brother, my sister, and I all lived in a trailer that was a stone's throw away from the home of Cesar Chavez. And Philip Vera Cruz, that great Filipino leader that too few people have heard about, was there as well and came over to our home for breakfast. Dolores Huerta was there. This was, in my view, one of the greatest places and moments in time in terms of social justice and transformational history. And I'm very proud that my family was there. One of the things that was great about it, one of the things that was most beautiful about it, was that that movement was driven by a collaboration of Latinos standing side by side with Filipinos to make a difference. And later that coalition grew with so many others joining that struggle as well. But because of that collaboration, because of working together, because of that spirit, that we're all in this together and we will all succeed together or we won't succeed at all, we were able to take some of the most transformative action in the history of this state, and I believe in the history of this nation. So I think that's important to keep in mind as we move forward, that together we will succeed, together we will rise. Also want to share a story about my own experience. As you heard, I was, in my introduction, I was able to go to some places I never thought I'd be able to go in terms of my education. My parents really stressed high quality public education. I got a great California public education all the way K through high school. And because of financial aid, I was able to go across the country and attend an amazing university for me that gave me opportunities I never thought I'd have. And I was able to pay for it because of financial aid and working my way through college cleaning laundry rooms. And that was well worth it for me. I was willing to do anything to have that opportunity to grow and learn and meet my full potential, but I know now how hard it is. It was hard then, it's even harder now for our young people to get the higher education that they need, that they deserve to succeed in today's modern economy. And so I've introduced a bill this year that requires a Blue Ribbon Commission to be established to determine how we in California can get to a place where higher education is universal and tuition free for every single Californian in the state, so that everyone who wants to go to college, documented or undocumented, poor or rich has an opportunity to attain what we provide already, K through 12, a high quality public education. And so I think that we should be providing the same in higher education. I think we know today how much education really provides opportunities to get good jobs, to command a higher salary, to support your family, to help get out of the cycle of poverty and support the next generation. So I'm excited about this bill and the potential that it has. Also wanted to share a little bit about the California Assembly Select Committee on the Status of Boys and Men of Color, which I'm honored to chair. To me, it's the most important select committee that there is at the state of California. It's the most popular, it's the most heavily resourced. We have an amazing partnership with the Alliance on Boys and Men of Color, with some great partners like the California Endowment and Urban Strategies, Policy Link, and others throughout the state. And we've been working hard to change the narrative in the state of California on some of the issues that many of you have been working on and leading on for so long, whether it be addressing school climate and trying to remove willful defiance as a reason for discipline and punishment, or banning the box, as we did a couple years ago, for all state jobs, providing health care for all, for every single Californian, regardless of immigration status, something that I've been working on as the lead in the Assembly with Senator Ricardo Lara from the Senate, something that the Affordable Care Act does not address. It provides health care to almost all, but it does not provide health care to those of our community members who are undocumented. Working on implementation of Prop 47, obviously a critical moment in our state's history when we passed that as a state, but making sure that it gets implemented correctly, that those individuals who deserve and should be able to get their felonies reclassified as misdemeanors can do that without too much trouble and too many obstacles. There are too many obstacles today. They have to pay for their rap sheets. They have to go county by county if there are multiple felonies that need to be reclassified. So we're trying to make that easier. We also introduced a $100 million budget request this year to support those nonprofits and advocacy groups on the ground who are already effectively serving our young men and boys of color. We don't need to recreate the wheel. We need to invest in those who are making a difference and getting the outcomes that we want for the young men and boys that we're fighting for. Law enforcement community relations, obviously very important. Oakland has implemented something called a procedural justice training, which helps officers strengthen their relationships with communities, make their decisions based on legitimate factors. An amazing leader who many of you may know, Pastor McBride, has been working on that in Oakland, and he is now doing the training at the state level, and we're seeking full state implementation of the procedural justice training for all law enforcement officers throughout the state. So, and also finally the local control funding formula, something that was passed. I had an opportunity to vote on in my second year in the legislature. You want to talk about transforming the way we do business in the state? That was a watershed, revolutionary change in the way that we fund our schools, making sure that resources get driven to those most in need, our poor students, our English learners, and our foster students. But again, there's the legislation and there's the promise, and then there's the implementation. So we need to keep our eye on that, making sure that this on the ground, this is being implemented the way it was promised. So a lot of important work. We're just getting started, and there's a lot more to do. I have gotten the best ideas about what to do at the state level from our local leaders who are in the trenches, innovating, fighting, moving the needle, making a difference, transforming lives. And so I want to take this opportunity to thank you for being here. Thank you for your leadership that you show every day. Thank you for the work that you've done and that you will do. And I look forward to partnering with you as we go forward to bring statewide and to scale the great work that you're doing locally. So thank you for the opportunity to be with you here today.